Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. In the fashion of answering questions, which you know I love to do. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. I do love when people ask me questions. I'm going to be answering more viewer questions because I just said what I was going to be doing. The first question that we have is someone said, can you do a video on the teacher or counselor who belittled you in high school, and have you seen any of them since? I'm not even sure which video this is from. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't black out when I make videos, but a lot of times when I tell stories, like they come out exactly as they are. So I don't know which video I even mentioned that this even happened. Like when I read the question, I was like, when did I tell anybody that? In high school, I had this situation where, I'll be completely honest with you, we're pretty much friends at this point, so I'll tell you. I dealt with a situation where I traveled to Europe as a kid, and I loved it. I was around 15, 16 years old, and I remember I went back to school and I told everyone how amazing this new place I found was and how great the food was. By the time I turned 17 and was getting ready to graduate high school, I declared to one of my favorite teachers, which is what hurt the most, and to the guidance counselor of the school that I actually planned on moving to Europe. And one of them sucked his teeth, and the guidance counselor, who was a woman, implied that I basically wasn't smart enough to do that and I should maybe look for other options. Very long story short, what ended up happening is I confided in them, trying to tell them that I wanted something different with my life. I wanted to go to Europe and I wanted to learn languages and I wanted to do many things. And I was basically told by one of them, you're not smart enough, you should go to a community college. And after, what was it? I think 2 years, I should try and take a semester in France to see if I'm actually going to be able to do it. I forgot what the other one said, but it was basically along the lines of it was like a chuckle, kind of like a kind of thing. And I remember it hurt a lot because these were people who I really looked up to, especially when you're young and you don't really have many people who you can kind of like confide in, especially not teachers. That's basically what happened. What ended up happening was that I turned 18 and I still moved to Europe, and I think I did pretty well for myself, so I can't really, whatever. Have I spoken to them? No. I spoke to one of them, the guy teacher, in 2008 or 2009 on MySpace. Because I remember other people, I think we had finally, honestly, I think we all felt as if us students had gotten to that age where we were old enough and mature enough where we could actually contact the old teachers and kind of be like buddy with them in a certain way. And other people told me that they had gotten in contact with this teacher. And I was like, you know what? I'll do the same. So I got in contact with him. Hey, what's up? What's going on? And it was like, hey, what's up? Long time no speak. I haven't heard from you. How's everything going? And I was like, life is going great. Life is going fantastic. And the question I knew was coming came up, and the teacher said, what school are you in? And I mentioned the name of a school, and it was in France. And I think the other question was like, what are you kind of doing with your life? And I remember what the question was. If you ever used MySpace many years ago, you could see immediately when someone blocked you, and it said blocked. It was like this, you can't send messages anymore. And I sat there for about 5 minutes thinking maybe they had made a mistake. Maybe they had clicked the wrong button. Years later, people told me that the teacher must have been jealous of me. I'm not exactly sure if that's true, but it did hurt a bit. Besides that, no contact with either one of them at all. I don't expect to ever run into them and or have contact with them again. But I must have mentioned that in some other video. Whoever you are, thank you for bringing it up or asking me the question so that other people can know my part of my life story. But yeah, don't let anyone ever tell you that you can't do something. If you have a teacher that tells you you can't do something, listen, it's one thing to kind of give advice, especially as a counselor, to be like, well, that actually sounds pretty great, but you can go down this route so that you can also reach that goal. Because I have another friend who wasn't able to do it the moment he turned 18. It took him about a good 2 or 3 years. And he actually lives in France now. He's married as well, so kudos to him. But if you're a parent, if you're an adult, if you're a teacher and a child asks you or tells you, I want to become an astronaut, I want to build things, I want to become Iron Man, give them the space to let them know that it's possible. I mean, just don't tell them no. Like, I don't know, maybe the no actually helped me motivatedly, not a word, to be able to get to where I am right now, because I hate being told no. Like, it means absolutely nothing to me. Like, you can't tell me no when I know that I can do something. Anyway, that's the first question. The second question is, someone said, and I quote, I love it. Someone said, wait, 20 of the same piece of art? Wait, you buy 20 of the same piece of art? Question mark? Yes, I think I've mentioned this many other times before. I obsessively buy art. I must have mentioned this before. If I have the chance to do so, I buy multiple pieces of the same piece of art. I don't care if it's a sculpture, if it's a print, whatever it is. As long as it's not like astronomically super high in cost, like I'm not rebuying something that costs like 5,000 already. That's just, but yeah, for prints, especially prints that I have access to multiple of them, I must have mentioned this before. I must have. I can feel deja vu happening. I buy tons of these. You are able to buy 5 per purchase on his website. I have like 25 of these. I just keep buying them. I mentioned maybe before, I do stuff like this because I know at some point for me, my portfolio, that this is going to be worth 500 to 1,000. I don't know if it's now. I don't know if it's in 10 years. I don't know when the artist has passed. But why not get something for super cheap when I know it's going to be valued a lot higher later? So yes, 20 pieces of the same art. I do it with all the pieces of art that I'm able to do so. I've been doing it for years. There's a lot of art that I figured out that I bought like the actual like last of on many different websites. And I didn't brag about it, but I posted it online and other places. And then I found out that other people had none. And I was kind of like, this is awkward. Anyway, yeah, I buy multiple pieces of the same pieces of art because I'm an obsessive collector. Next question. Someone said, hello, could you please tell us what education, formal and informal, led you to become an investment advisor with such experience? Question mark. One, I'm an investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I do not have any plaques. I do not have any certificates, authorization, all these other things. I've mentioned this many other times before. It is imperative that you do your own research. I went to high school, got it. And I went to university for a couple of years in France. I did not like it, and I realized that for myself, school was not for me, which I think that teacher would have loved. If I had told him not only that I was in France, going to university in France, but also at some point kind of dropped out and left because I was like, this isn't for me, I'm sure he would have loved it. Yeah, I went to a school in Paris. I learned art history and all these other things because there was a certain point. I do art, but I thought that I wanted to be an artist completely and unequivocally, like nothing else really mattered in my mind. I also wanted to be an architect many years ago as well, but that also completely fell apart. The point is, yeah, what ended up happening was, if you want the whole shebang, is that around 2007, 8, or 9, a really good friend of mine who's a real estate agent in Florida, who used to be a real estate agent in New York, kind of sat me down one day and was like, hey, have you thought about investing in real estate? And I was like, no, real estate sounds stupid. And he kind of like, I saw over the course of time that it was a pretty good investment, and this is kind of what got me into it. And then the other part is that I got into cryptocurrencies around 2012, 13? I think 2012. And I learned everything I know about finance, I learned myself. This is why I mentioned before in other videos, I don't know if people got the hint. It was a little smidge of a hint. You can make money other ways. While it is important to have an education, understand that you going to university is not the only way for you to be able to become successful, to become rich, or to become anything that you really want to be. This goes for a lot of different ways. I won't really mention them, but for investing, for collecting art, for, I dare not even say being a YouTuber, but you get kind of what I'm saying. Like, there are multitudes of other ways to be able to make money. I don't think that there's anyone who I know right now, no one, who went to university, and got a degree who's doing that as a job right now? I don't know anybody. I know one person who is a freelancer. I know someone who's a graphic designer. I know someone who is a DJ and like a gym person who's like a personal trainer. None of these people, what they went to school for, that's not what they're currently making their money in. So I think the idea that you need to be educated in this certain way, everything that you learn within the classroom, especially within a university classroom, if you imagine you read the exact same books that they did and knew all the same exact information that they did. The only difference between you and them is that they're probably around 200,000 in debt with a piece of paper that says, yeah, I'm in debt, and you know all the exact same information. So why are you any less capable of being able to make it than this person? It just doesn't logically make any sense in my head. Like, I'm very successful for where I am right now with no college, university degree. I kind of did everything by myself. As far as the 2012 with cryptocurrencies, why I mentioned it is that I've delved deeply into the rabbit hole of finance. Like, I learned all these, the word is in phrases, like words myself, like securities, commodities, the International Monetary Fund, the Bank for International Settlements, what a NFT, NTF, ETF. What an ETF is, what an ETN is. You just learn all these things and you have the exact same knowledge as the other people. It's just about, yeah, to answer your question, high school, 2 years of university in Paris, and then everything else I learned myself. I am sorry to disappoint you, but I am self-taught in many ways. And the last question says, what cryptos am I most bullish on? I keep getting this a lot. I have a video, I think I have 2 or 3 videos on here that are like heavily Bitcoin focused. And when I look through the comments, I get a lot of the same questions mimicked in different forms, but this is kind of the most concise one, if that makes any sense. What cryptos am I most bullish on? Can anyone answer this? If you've watched my channel before, some of you must be able to answer this. It's mainly Bitcoin. It's also Ethereum. And this third finger is a multitude of coins, which I think will perform very well over the next couple of years, but I do not ever expect them to become a Bitcoin. They are Cardano, they are XRP, they are Litecoin. Sorry for the awkward silence, but I was actually going through the list. I think during a bull run or an extended market that is going high, I think many coins will perform very well. When I talk about being bullish on a coin, I mean in the long term. I'm talking about the fact that this company put 50 million into Bitcoin. This company put 425 million into Bitcoin. It's all these same things that happen over and over. I think Bitcoin personally is going to make it, regardless of what you might think, keeping in mind that other companies are not adopting Bitcoin Cash, nor are they adopting Bitcoin Cash Satoshi's vision, nor are they adopting Stellar Lumens or multiple of any other coins. It appears that Bitcoin is going to be it as far as the long-term stretch. However, I see a lot of potential with Ethereum, especially as we get closer to Ethereum 2.0, which apparently may have even come out by the time this video is released. Who knows? But not many. I think people get very disappointed when I tell them this, and people have been asking me this for over a year now, and I mainly give the same list over and over. It's 2 coins, and this third finger is a few other coins, but not a lot. The cryptocurrency space is shaping itself very rapidly into a very tight ball where not many other things can enter. Other coins keep appearing and are being released, especially when it comes to DeFi tokens, and they're not going to make it. So as far as following the hype, I choose not to do this, and I myself just choose to follow what looks like is going to be the winner after all of this. I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I love answering questions. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.